Yeah.
I didn't know the answer to what's the purpose of my life.
Hmm.
And now, because of astral projection, I have a very clear answer to this.
Hi, Ashwin. Welcome to this interview. I'm really curious to hear about how you are now after being going through parts of my program, and most importantly, your experiences. That's been very, very interesting, very profound. You've quit smoking, you've met deceased people, relatives, and so much more. Can you tell us a little bit about what what your experiences were like? If you were to share the first one that comes to mind, that it was a very life changing or interesting experience, so that we can get a idea of how and how they were, please.
All right. Uh, so I really wanted to learn astral projection, and when I saw your course, I was very attracted to it. I thought this will help me, and I did everything that you asked me to do. And then suddenly there were changes in my life. I had no home to stay suddenly, and I had to leave. I had to find a place to go to, which is why I couldn't finish a lot of steam. And I even recorded the affirmation which you promptly sent back to me and all that. And when I used to play that before I sleep, and the first few days nothing happened. But then after that, I woke up in the morning and I remembered everything that had happened. And this was when I went, and the first astral projection I had was when I met my father, who's deceased. I, I met him. He was standing confused at a huge river, and then I somehow helped him across. And it turns
Hmm.
out that that's the river between life and death, and
Right.
he for the world of the living and the world of the dead. So he was standing in the world of the dead, trying to cross over into the world of the living, but he had no idea how to do it. And somehow I was able to do it. I can't explain how, but I just had a lot of power in my hands, and I willed it, and it just happened. He went across. So I I did that again when my aunt died. I I had an intention. So it all starts with an intention, and my intention was pure that I wanted to help her, and I didn't have any opposing beliefs. So it just happened. I got out of my own way. Something about your course, listening to you. I think the biggest understanding that I got from you is that we are projecting into our bodies as well. And then we can project out as well. If we are already projecting into our bodies, why can't we project wherever we want? So that part really opened my mind. It opened, unlocked something, a whole lot of.
Okay. Yeah. Right. Yeah, it's like we can focus our consciousness into different places. So we can focus. We have right now we're focusing our consciousness in our bodies, but we can focus it in other places too.
Yeah,
And so the understanding is that the consciousness is not generated from our brains, and then we're like going somewhere else. Where like the consciousness is not even in our brains in the first place.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
it's
That,
being projected to us when we are here in the physical body, but consciousness is beyond this dimension.
previously, I had heard a chap called Daniel Dennett speak about consciousness, and he was talking about how it's only inside the physical body, and that's it. And it seemed damn
Yeah,
convincing, I was convinced by that. But then I said, what's the point if it's so ordinary? What's the point of life if you're just going to die? So I wanted to have an experience. Secretly, I didn't want to believe that. So when I found you confidently saying that this is not, I just took your word for it, and
hmm,
I didn't look for proof. I said, if it's true, I'll be able to prove it myself, and I did.
exactly. that's what you want.
Yeah,
That's proof for yourself.
exactly. I don't want to hear about uh, the consciousness being limited from someone who doesn't practice astral projection, but you clearly were practicing it. So I thought
Yeah,
I should just keep my intellect away, keep it to the side, and I did.
keep an open mind, and
Keep
you
an
did.
open
Yeah,
mind. Yeah, yeah, that's what I did. I said, if it's going to happen, it's going to happen. So earlier I would try it, and then there would be this niggling doubt of whether it's possible, and I didn't have this perspective that I'm even projecting into my body. That thing just unlocked something, and then after that, I've been able to astral project very easily, without any struggle. And so, yeah, so I had a lot of experiences. The another profound experience I can remember is when I went inside my body. So I started suffering from erectile dysfunction, and that was because I was smoking too much, and I was smoking a bong all the time, all the time,
yeah.
like 10 times a day, 20 times a day. I don't know. I would just
A
light up.
bong
Yeah,
20 times a day.
yeah.
Wow.
One of those. I had a collection of bongs, and I would smoke each one.
Can I ask you to move the microphone a little bit away from the mouth? Just a little bit. Oh,
Is this
okay.
better?
That's enough.
Thanks.
I think so.
Okay. So I was addicted to this, and I thought I can't ever leave this addiction. I had tried many times, and then I was like, no, this is so much better than being sober, is what I would tell myself, and I would just go. And I was coughing. I had bad lungs. I had a whole lot of problems, but I would just keep exercising, and I thought my exercise will make up for this, you know.
Uh-huh.
And that's
Yeah.
what I told myself. I said, I don't have any symptoms. I can run up a flight of stairs. I'm all right. Until I got
Mm.
erectile dysfunction. Then I knew I had to take this seriously. And I said, I want to solve it. I have astral projection. So let me use this tool and figure this out. I do not want to take medication for this. I don't want to eat Viagra for this. So,
Yeah.
so
Understand.
I said, let me do it. So I sat down one night with the clear intention that I want to get to the root of this. And then I just went asleep. And when I woke up, I usually wake up when I've astral projected, I wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning. So
Yeah.
when I woken up, I had a clear memory. And that's the difference between lucid dream and astral projection. Because when it's a lucid dream, I have to lace together the memory when I wake up. But with the astral projection, it's just there, boom. I don't forget. So
Yeah.
initially, when I got into the projection, I thought I was in an alien landscape. I could not recognize these things around me, but I was inside my arteries, and I was seeing how they were getting blocked up because my red blood cells were being split in half by the chemicals contained in the smoke. And
Wow.
I was seeing that happen. And that's called oxidative stress. Oxygen comes and splits up your red blood cells, and they can't function anymore. So
Yeah.
I saw that happen, and I saw my immune system trying to repair it. And in the process of repairing it, it's thickening arteries that were taking blood down to my lower body, because even my toes used to go numb. So my entire lower body's arteries were getting thickened, navel below.
Wow.
Uh,
Yeah.
And I just saw all that. And then I was then in my lungs, and I couldn't recognize it because there was so much tar. There's so much tar in my lungs. I said, what am I doing to my body? I came out, gave away all my smoking stuff to my friends who smoke, just didn't smoke again after that. I haven't,
Wow.
that was the hardest thing to quit. I've quit a lot of drugs. I quit a lot of, I quit alcohol too, but then I couldn't quit smoking.
And then just one astral projection that showed you inside of your body what was going on.
Yeah.
The next day you quit.
Next day,
And
I did not look at these things as my friends, all my smoking
huh.
stuff. They were my friends and companions, earlier,
Yeah.
but now they were not. I just didn't see them as my friends. I just saw them as a hidden enemy. I said, I got to get you out of my house, guys. I don't want you around anymore.
Wow.
And I got rid of it.
What such a powerful experience, and you had control. You could actually fly around inside of your artery and look around and navigate in that experience.
Yeah, yeah.
um
I could. So it wasn't like I was being taken. I could go everywhere and I wanted to see more. And then I said, show me more and show me more. And I kept seeing. And I said, I want to go to my lungs. When I said, I want to go to my lungs, I just had that thought. I was in my lungs. I even
wow,
visited my liver and I saw all of the stuff there. Then oh, by the way, I quit oil as well after that
really?
because I saw what oil was doing to my liver.
uh, which kind of oil?
Cooking oil.
Like olive oil,
Yeah,
or
yeah, yeah. All the
even olive
oils that
oil?
we use coconut oil, and we use a lot of oil in our cooking in India.
Yeah, that's true.
And
And so no more oil, because that was
I just got
really.
rid of all the oil as well. I mean, I just stopped eating it.
And the alcohol, that was before, actually. Yeah.
That was before.
Yeah. So you never saw the effect of alcohol on the liver, or did you?
I did. I did. I was really sick. I had.
But in the projection, when you're looking at the liver, could you tell the different substances that affected the liver, or was it
Yes.
just like,
Yes. It's like if I wanted to see what oil was doing. I mean, I saw a lot of fat,
mm,
and I said, "What is this fat? Where is it coming from?" And then I suddenly got the understanding that it's oil.
yeah, you got this download,
Yeah.
the answer came to you. It's
Yeah.
oil.
Yeah. It was my body speaking to me, so I could really get it. And then
Yeah, and
I just don't want to abuse my body anymore, and my health has improved a lot after that.
you look very healthy.
I've completely recovered from the erectile dysfunction and the numbness of my toes.
Yeah,
It's gone.
wow,
It's gone. And
it's gone.
the sensitivity, I couldn't hold my toes without feeling uncomfortable. Or my feet,
Wow.
I couldn't touch my feet, and it was getting uncomfortable sometimes to walk. But I was in denial then. You know, I didn't think it could be because of the smoking. I thought maybe
Of
it's
course, yeah.
seasonal. You
It's
know, I just visited the mountains. It must have been cold there. You know, I had a whole lot of explanations while I was smoking.
Yeah, I know that feeling when you're in denial. Like, no, it's probably not that. It's because you don't want to admit to yourself the truth, because it's
Yeah,
scary.
yeah.
You
I just needed
you
proof. When I saw it for my own self, I said, doesn't make any sense to
yeah.
smoke anymore. And I don't have the urge to smoke anymore. Just nothing.
Well, that's what's interesting as well, because normally, you might watch, like, on a mental level, you can maybe watch a commercial, or I don't know, something that just conveys to you on a mental level that smoking is really bad, and then
Mm,
you know it, like, okay, smoking is bad, I should quit. But on a physical and emotional level, you really crave that cigarette, but you
yeah.
didn't crave anything. You said the next day, the craving was gone.
Yeah. All cravings are when you try to quit with no intention to quit, you know. You don't want to
Yeah,
quit because it's solving a problem. Look, all said and done, the smoking was solving a problem for me. Because every time I got smoked up, I could just forget all my problems in life. So
right, like an escape.
it
Yeah,
was solving it temporarily for a few hours until the next smoke. So then my solution is to just continuously smoke. So I don't have the problem
true.
at all. I don't have to face up.
Yeah.
And what was the problem? The problem was that I was running out of money, and another problem was that I didn't have a direction what I wanted
uh,
to do.
Sorry, can you repeat that, because the sound was
I didn't have a direction in life.
yeah.
I didn't know the answer to what's the purpose of my life.
Hmm.
And now, because of astral projection, I have a very clear answer to this. In another astral projection, I met a goddess, and her name was Bala,
Hmm.
and she explained to me what the purpose of life really is.
What is it? What did you hear from her?
She said it's to solve pain.
To solve pain.
Yeah, to solve problems and pain. Yes, exactly. So she said there's an infinite flow of desire, and it's if you've solved all your own problems, then go and solve other people's problems. Yeah, serve others by solving the problems. But if you try to find a meaning of life outside of your problems, there is none. But to
Okay.
solve your problems is very meaningful.
Yeah. Yeah, it is meaningful. So how does that, can you talk about how does that connected to the desire?
So when you have a problem, you have a desire for it to go away. And that's what all
Yeah,
desire
you wish
is. Every desire
that,
is actually, even a desire for a car, it's a solution to a problem. You want a fancy car, it's a solution to a problem. You want a fancy house, it's a solution to a problem which you're not
right,
facing, which you're not naming. But if you did name the problem, then you'd know that maybe there are better solutions than a car or a house.
right.
So
So without problems, there are no desires.
yeah,
Hmm.
that's what she told me. And then she said, and when I say told me, she isn't speaking. It's happening telepathically. I'm just sitting with her,
Yeah,
and
the telepathic
yeah,
communication with
and I'm having this really profound communication with her. And then I asked her all my questions. She had all the answers. I said, that's fantastic.
yeah,
I found the secret of motivation without drugs or anything.
without drugs, sober at
Yeah.
night, in an aspect, in one aspect projection, you got all of this information.
Yeah.
What, how did that, what did that change in your life afterwards? How did things change with that
So I
information?
made a series of videos about motivation, and a lot of people watched it too. And I started talking about it to other people, and they would just agree and step. And people started getting motivated after one conversation with me because I could
I
really.
mean, I feel really motivated talking to you for the last hour that we spoke as well.
Thanks, man.
You definitely have a huge talent for motivating people and inspiring people with what you say and what you share, and your experiences are
Yeah.
very interesting, very, very interesting.
I owe it to the understanding I got from this goddess, and I'm able to help people. I'm able to model their suffering and help them out of it, help them find solutions that actually work. So yeah.
So, so did she say when you asked this question, it was about when the answer she gives you was kind of universal. It's like this is the meaning of life for everyone.
Mhm.
It wasn't specific for you, was it?
No,
Was
it,
it,
it
or
was
did you
for
feel like
everyone. It was for everyone,
for everyone,
including me. And
including
I
you?
could I could apply it right away. I just said like, what's my pain? Let me face my pain. When I started facing my pain, I couldn't not I couldn't sit. I had to start solving it. So I started solving it.
Solving your pain, all
Yeah.
the worries, all the fears you have in the
Yeah,
physical.
yeah. I also understood that fears are something that we use. Fears are not the problem; they're the solution to a problem. So when we have fear, uh, it 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 just makes me feel good at some level.
Hmm.
It Yeah, it sounds counterintuitive, but that's exactly what happens on an unconscious, unsaid level. So there are said things. We say that I'm a victim and I'm afraid of something. Poor me. But the moment you say that, it's no longer poor you. It's like there are all these people who don't really understand me, and they haven't had the experiences that I've had, and therefore they can't really understand me. So I'm so much more experienced than them. I'm so much more evolved than them. And then you get high, and it's a solution. Being afraid makes you high. It's like a drug.
Yeah, makes you high on serotonin we were talking about before.
Serotonin, yeah, yeah, serotonin, the status drug, the status neurotransmitter. And so when you have a lot of that, you can just get continuously have. So you're solving your problem by not solving the problem, but by getting high.
Yeah.
This is why people drink. This is why people smoke. And this is why people have fear. It's just another addiction. This is the clarity I got from the goddess. And so
Hmm.
I've been able to apply it. I
And
applied
so
it.
what's the solution to a fear? For example, let's say a fear of public speaking, very classical fear. What would be the solution
Yes.
in that case?
Well, I would ask that person, what is this fear of public serving? Sorry, what is this fear of public speaking help you solve? What problem does your fear of public speaking help you solve? And then they
Hmm.
might think for a while. They might take a couple of days to come up with the answer, but
Yeah,
inevitably they do. To my surprise, everybody did. And so the answer could be like, um, it helps me to not face rejection,
right.
not face the pain of rejection. So then I tell them, if you want rejection to be not painful, then you have to um, you have to solve that problem, right? Like, you only feel pain when you get rejected, when you feel that it was unfair. But you have to start finding out why it's actually fair that somebody rejected you. The reason somebody rejected you is because they didn't actually find any value in you at that
Yeah,
moment. If they found you valuable, they wouldn't reject you. That means you didn't solve any of their
their
you got
problems.
rejected. Yeah, any of their problems. You didn't solve any of their problems. That's why you got rejected. If you were solving their problems, would they reject you? You're you solve
Can
the
can
problem.
you move the microphone a little bit further away because
Sorry.
it cuts out? Okay, let's try that.
Is this better?
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's see. It comes. I think it comes back again.
Oh,
Maybe
okay. Yes,
because
probably.
when you speak, it disappears the sound sometimes
Oh,
because
must.
it's so loud.
Oh,
Let's
okay.
try it.
Okay. Okay. Maybe I should change the levels of it, or is this
No,
okay?
no, it's
It's
just
all right.
because it's because the air that when you speak, the air sometimes blows into the microphone and then it changes the volume and stuff like that.
All right. All right.
Let's try now. Hopefully, it's good.
Okay. So coming back to what I was saying, if the person is
Yeah,
afraid of being rejected, then they're going to have to understand rejection itself. Why does someone reject you? They reject you because you didn't solve any problem in their life. And if you had
yeah.
solved any problem in their life, they would treat you with value. That's about it. So so whomever you're afraid of being rejected by, solve problems. If you're going to speak in public, make sure you're solving the problem with what you're speaking.
Hmm.
That's the proper way to do it. Then you'll never be afraid of speaking in public when you're sure you're going to solve the problem. Otherwise, don't open your
Yeah,
mouth.
because true, because then you kind of you feel already from the beginning that you're doing them a service. You're helping them out. You're giving them value. And
Okay.
so how could they reject you on
Exactly.
when you give them a gift of wisdom or whatever it is.
Mm,
That's a really good mindset. That's very interesting. And that's I can see how this is applicable for any fear and any problem.
absolutely.
That's some great wisdom you got there on that projection. And you told me that you're having projections like every night now.
Yeah. Yeah, because
So you just
because I don't have any opposing beliefs
yeah.
or any doubt about it now. So it's very easy for me to project. I just have to, and I'm just leaving it to my higher self or God or whatever. Uh, there's a wisdom in this universe that is bigger than mine. That's what I believe, and I know it. I
Yeah.
can feel it. I can see it. So I leave it to that, and then
So,
yeah,
mhm.
then I get taken and shown a lot of stuff, like a lot of things.
So you ask stuff like, "Show me," before you like at night before you go to sleep. You say it's things like, "Show me what I need to learn," or how I can grow, and then you've been taken to different places and
Yeah, I
shown different.
say, give me something valuable. Give me a gift. Give me a valuable gift. That's what I say.
Hmm. Hmm.
Give me a valuable gift, and I get a valuable gift every night. So,
Amazing. So good. So, um, what would you say to people that are curious about astral projection and they're thinking about practicing, but they haven't maybe started yet? What would you tell them?
I think it's really important to learn from someone who's been doing it, like you. So that really helped me because I know that you're doing it. And if you are doing it, then there's something in what you say that makes a change for me. Like for me, it was when you said that I'm uh, projecting myself into my body, and that opened a lock, something that was locked. In the same way, I'm
Yeah,
sure if somebody did your course and listened to all of it, something would unlock.
yeah,
It's different locks for different people,
it is. Everything. It's very different for different people. That's one of the things, and also the experiences. People have different experiences, so not everyone has your experiences. Everyone has completely different experiences. It's all depending on their own evolution, their
Yeah,
personalities, their fears, their blocks. Like it's so personal. But it's so inspiring to listen to your experiences. And I mean, I'm listening to a lot of people's experiences now, and it's really very interesting to see how many things we can actually do with this tool. And there's doesn't seem to be any limits to what you can do either. Only limits to your imagination, or not even that, because as you do it, you just ask for your higher self to
I'm
take you
so
to
sorry,
places.
brothers. Just
Which
give me a sec.
okay, sorry.
So sorry about that.
No worries. Yeah, so I was just saying that in and it's really also up to the to your higher self that can take you to places where you can. So you might have an idea of what kind of things you can do, what you can solve, what you can work on, um, but that's a limited sort of version of what's possible. And then when you ask your higher self, like you do, it will take you to places that you couldn't even imagine was existed, and show you new things and teach you new things.
Yeah,
So
that's precisely what the goddess told me. She said, when you've run out of problems, the world hasn't run out of problems and pain. So start solving the problems and pain, and your life will continue to have meaning for as long as you're alive.
right. So she's basically saying that first solve your own problems and then start solving other people's problems when you got there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Solve your own
makes sense.
problems first. Yes, absolutely. Serve from the overflow.
Yeah, yeah. And then I mean you can just if you think you don't have any problems, then you just look for your what desires you have, right? What desires do you have? And then you
I
realize that
actually
that's
reached this place in a very short time, in like 5 or 6 days. I reached this place where I had solved all my problems. I, I, I didn't have any
okay.
problems. So I didn't have any desires. And then the only desire I had was to help other people solve their problems after that.
Right.
And
Wow.
that gives me
In
meaning.
yeah, of course. Makes sense. But so profound. Just in 1 week, you solved all your problems. It sounds like unreal. Was it more like a mindset shift, or did money just come into your account suddenly from somewhere?
Well, I was just doing the same things, or at least I thought I was doing and communicating the same things, but the way I communicate had changed. And for example, I just announced a course, and the price was about $400, and I did not expect 23 people to sign up all of a sudden. That was not happening in my life before.
Right. So things start changing your life because you changed within on an inner level.
Yeah, I think because I changed within on a in a subtler level, what I started to communicate on an external level also changed.
Yeah, which totally makes sense. Yeah, that's how it works.
Yeah.
Amazing. All right. Well, thank you so much for this interview. It's been a pleasure talking to you and learning from you and hearing your inspiring stories. and I'm looking forward to continue working with you and helping you get even further with the rest of the program.
Yeah. I'm actually looking forward to finish the program now. Now that
Yeah.
now that I have some time, and all my problems are solved. So basically, I can focus now.
Amazing.